I'd like a side of Star Trek with my alien references.
Welcome to Trek Trav. This is your Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 1, Episode 9 review, Those Who Wander or Wonder. It could be both. So, first things first, we've got 3 new recruits that are getting their commission after doing their service aboard the Enterprise. As soon as I saw this, I thought 2 of those are going to die. What we do get is an episode of which takes a lot of references from Alien and then sprinkles them with a little bit of Predator, adds some Star Trek in there. And then you've got a recipe for a standard horror episode. And Star Trek's done a lot of these standard alien homages, of which just sort of play into that. I didn't expect the end. There was a few things at the end I didn't really didn't really think would happen. I enjoyed the episode, but it just felt like, I suppose it's because they took the alien stuff a bit too far. Not too far as in, oh, monsters, blood, horror, as in it was so clearly an alien homage. The Gorn coming out of the bodies, the way you saw through the Gorn's eyes was very Predator-ish. And I love Predator. I love Alien. I've liked usually the episodes in Star Trek where they do homages to these things. What I felt with this episode was it was if you replaced all of the Starfleet crew with just a group of scavengers on a mining ship, or if you replaced them with some Marines, it would essentially be that film. What we did have was, there was no point where I was scared. I don't think I could be scared of this kind of format because it's been done to death. And I get that Strange New Worlds tends to play it safe in that they follow a familiar science fiction narrative where they use a trope and then they explore it through these characters. I felt like it was really odd as well when they went down to the planet. The La'an wasn't taking charge. She's the security officer. She'd taken charge before. Pike went in first. I did enjoy the emotional stuff with Spock. I felt like he was very much... the dealing with the human side of Spock is interesting. It makes more sense with Spock being half human than, say, with someone like T'Pol from Star Trek Enterprise. I think having Hema there, who's calmed down, and he talks to Uhura about where her place is, and he sort of works out that she fears connection with people, so she just wants to move away and to feel safe from getting hurt. Which kind of makes sense. Sam Kirk on there, who comes across as a bit of a coward, but Pike sort of goes, no, he's tougher than that. We don't really see him being tougher than that. Although he's a character like we're just getting to know, even though he's related to a big character, he's not a character we've ever explored before. What I really did enjoy about this episode was the CGI looked brilliant, and that alien who didn't speak English, like the animatronics and the I want to say they used a little bit of CGI just to make it look more real. He looked really good, and I really enjoyed his being there. I think it's the first proper alien we've had in Star Trek for a while. I'm like, with no crinkle forehead is what I mean. And I really enjoyed those elements. The creative elements of this were quite good. I don't know. There's a few things, like the first Gorn episode, because clearly they're setting them up to be a big bad of some sort. The first Gorn episode, they very much had an ominous, scary feeling about them. This episode didn't really give me that. It sort of just gave me this, because you knew they were clearly going to do Alien. I didn't expect them to kill off anyone, and when they did kill off the new cadets who had completed their training. I was like, okay, that's fine. When they got to the end, and this is obviously more spoilers, like, to be honest, if you've watched Alien, you've seen most of the spoilers. When Hemmer got the venom, got sprayed with the venom, I was a bit like, he's gonna be impregnated with eggs. Well, he can't because his Hemmer is the main character. And I like the fact that we're no longer safe from main characters dying. It's really good. Like, we've had it before. Well, not dying, but leaving was Kess. We had Tasha Yar dying. We had other characters who had died, but generally it was because the show was losing ratings and they wanted to bring in a new character. Or in Terry Farrell's area, she left because she was getting a little bit aggressive with her contract, and Rick Berman didn't like aggressive women. This felt like I felt like they could have done more with him. I think Hemmer was one of the most intriguing characters. I would have preferred, like, Sam Kirk can't die because he's in the original series briefly. Mustachio William Shatner. But I felt like he could have died. To be honest, most of them could have died, and I probably wouldn't, like, other than Spock and Pike, La'an could have died. Like, I would have been okay with that. She leaves to go hunt the Gorn, or find the Gorn, or help this girl with her family, which is a plot point that they just sort of dropped in the middle of the episode. Like, oh, she's got to find a way back out of this trauma, da 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 da. The girl hides, and then they just don't see her again. They see her in the freezer, and then you don't hear from her again. You would think La'an would try and build a bond. In the normal Star Trek episodes, that's what La'an would do. She would be building a bond with this character, but you don't see that bond. It focuses very much on the alien element. And look, I think the Gorn look really good. I wish that they looked a little bit more like maybe a cross between the Enterprise and the TOS ones, or like at least had some sort of facial feature that was familiar. They just look like standard little reptiles that looked a little bit alien. They had these weird, like, shoulder things. They had tails, but the tails could drop off as they get more humanoid. Unless the Gorn have got tails now. I don't know. It's not the best episode. It's certainly not the first Alien referenced episode. The reason for them clicking now becomes more clear because they're trying to give that Predator insinuation. Look, I don't know if I like it. I want to see how it plays out. Otherwise, so we've got La'an leaving, Hemmer dying. I thought I would be sadder at Hemmer dying, but I don't actually know him well. We only really got one episode where we sort of got to know him, so having him die is a bit like, oh, I'm not that sad. And then Spock getting angry because these people have died kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I'm watching him get angry at characters that he knows. I don't know them well enough to care. It's like Tasha Yar. I don't really care about Tasha Yar in TNG. She was a boring character back in the first season of TNG. Overall, I don't know what to think about this episode. It was a bit middling. I would probably give it maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Tell me what you think. Leave a like and a comment. I'd love to hear you discuss this in my comments. And come back on Sunday for another brand new video on the Trek Trav channel. I've been Trek Trav. Make sure to come back, and good night.